This design right here is a monogrammed round, and make them in 3 different sizes. I make them in 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch, and I could do them custom with your initials monogram, or one initial, or however you want them to be. There are kits available. Right now I'm using purple and I'm sponging it on, and I'm going to be doing like an ombre effect. So it'll be 2 different color purples, and then if you combine the 2, you get that in the middle of the initials. I'm using a makeup sponge for this, and I'll show the paint colors. Like I said, here I'm just doing the ombre effect. And I only use a few different colors in this. Like I said, these are available in 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch. And then I'm going to be painting the flowers. One of the flowers, a big one, I'm going to do like in the ombre too. I probably did it on the side. This is a new camera view for me, so just bear with me. I apologize if it's not in the view. And I'm just going over it again to make the purple more vibrant. I'll be using a pink and the green and the parchment. I think it's, what is it? No, it's toasted marshmallow, I think it is. The color that I use for the background. And then you'll see later on this one, it does not have the score marks for the shiplap. So I used a marker to make it look like it is a shiplap. Here I'm painting the flowers, purple and pink. And then after I'm done with the flowers, I'm not sure if next I do the toasted marshmallow background. And it takes a few coats to do that. And like I said earlier, I could do the initials, or I could, the monogram initials, or I could do just one letter. Here I'm putting the toasted marshmallow on, and it takes a few coats to cover. I probably should have used a paintbrush on this, but I had the sponges available in front of me, so. But the paintbrush probably would have been better. So I'm just going over it a few times. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the ruler, and the width of the ruler, how wide it is. Not long, but how wide it is. That's what I used to make the lines on the round, to make it look like shiplap. And it doesn't have to be, fully coated, because I'm going to be sanding it down anyway. And it wound up to turn out really good. And here I am just drying it to make it speed up a little quicker. It's a heat gun. And then I'm putting on another coat. And like I said, the coverage doesn't have to be great because of the fact that I'm going to be sanding it anyway. I'm drying it again. And the score lines are, you could still see the score lines on there for the greenery part. So here I am taking the ruler and I'm measuring it from the top. I probably should have done it a little bit different so it would line up better, but it's okay. So I'm taking a brown acrylic marker and I'm going the width of the round, and I'm just making a line with the acrylic marker. Now I'm going to be painting, the greenery. It's like a sage green. And again, I'm using a makeup sponge. And I do 2 coats on these. It dries pretty quick. Here's the second coat. And then I take my my sandpaper. The grit doesn't matter. The grit is, however much you want to take off. I use the green one. I think it's 80 grit. I'm not too sure. I would have to go back and look. But I put a washcloth underneath it just to catch some of the dust. And then I sand. And it really looks like shiplap. So I'm just dry fitting it on here to see how I want it to look. There was some little pieces of wood that was stuck in the little cutouts. So there are the flowers, and they have the button centers. Next time I'll make sure I'm in camera better. So I sand some of the pieces down. I don't do a lot of sanding on this because I want them to have the color. And then I do take a little bit of the Waverly wax and do some of the edges on them. This is a really quick project. It didn't take long to do this. Once you figure out the colors and everything that you want to do, it winds up to be easy and quick. And like I said, I could do the custom initials. Always the middle name is the bigger one in the middle. So if you order, the first name is the A, the middle one is the last name, and the one at the end is the middle name. I'm taking a little bit of the Waverly wax and putting it on the edges of the flowers. Like I said, I apologize for this video, that a lot of it was off the camera and I didn't realize it. So I'm going to have to get better at it. And then I just start gluing. I get my wood glue from Dollar Tree. It dries clear and it dries pretty quick. It's not a quick dry. You have time to move the piece around a little bit before it actually sets. But I really like using that wood glue from Dollar Tree. It works really well. So here I am gluing down the greenery. And the score lines are there for the greenery. I can do the shiplap engraving too on there for you if you need me to or want me to. But some people might not want it shiplap, so that's why I didn't do that. But doing the lines with the acrylic marker really makes it look like shiplap. So now I'm putting the glue down on the initials. And then I just dab it with my finger so I don't get a lot of overflow on the piece itself. And I'm lining it up and gluing it down. I can't apologize enough for not putting it in camera. So there it is.